Woo, come in, come in, come in. We got some stuff to discuss. Now, in the beginning, they finished with Quad and Jackie. Again, for the life of me, why are we concerned about if Quad leaked the tape rather than the words that Jackie that came out of her mouth? Mind-blowing. But let's keep going. Quite frankly, if I was Quad, I would have brought that up. Why y'all work? But I see she trying to make Memphis and all of that. But that's crazy. And I find it ironic that Simone, at her age, could only Memphis with Quad when they're behind stage, but you can't do it in front of Toya. What is happening here? The way y'all handle her after the divorce, I would have ran to the sister circle as well. Like, are we forgetting how y'all completely dismissed the things she went through to save a black man? But it's about time Simone and Quad wrap this up anyway, because we already know Simone and Toya alliance was just so fake. Then you got Toya talking about, we appreciate you for really apologizing. And I'm so happy Andy stepped in. Like, I mean, how would y'all feel if somebody came in and they brought their new wife after being on the show for 10 years and no heads up? How would you feel? Toya trying to make light of the situation, talking about, well, I would have had my new man sitting behind me. But when it came to Jackie and Hilton Head, the place, not the woman, not like y'all was going to meet the woman at Hilton Head, but just the place, it was a big deal. But again, let's keep going. Now, Quad and Heavenly talking about Sweet Tea clothes had me weak. And they look good. Quad and Heavenly, they look good on What's Happening Live with Andy. Now, Quad and T argument was funny to me because listening to T and listening to why she's upset with Quad, you don't get what a reality TV show is when it comes to Married to Medicine. Of course, Greg is going to be in the conversation because they've been on this show for years. And for years, it was them two. So you're just popping in. So, of course, there's still going to be questions asked to her about that situation. Which is why she said, you can't erase my previous marriage because that really happened to me. It wasn't just all happy times. Like, she's probably a little traumatized and had to get over that. So it's not easy to just dismiss. Especially when you're on a reality show about marriage. And unlike how Toya do a Quad, when nobody asks or bring up Quad, Toya kind of bring Quads up. Quad don't do that to Sweet Tea. Whenever she's responding about Sweet Tea, it's because she's asked a question. And the fact that Dr. Heavenly introduced Sweet Tea to the group, messy. That girl ain't friends with nobody but the show, her husband, and her check. Sweet Tea done got Greg in a hot spot. Damon like, look, let me know. You feel like I'm a cheater or what? Because you know me for years. She don't know me. So what do you think? And he talking about no. Yeah, because you knew she was just being messy. And why Sweet Tea didn't just say that? I was just being messy like you was. Now, Sweet Tea and Heavenly had me crying. Now, let me say this, because I'm not a fan of Sweet Tea. I feel like she's not really good for reality TV, especially when she like kind of spazzed out and had that little moment online. That was a bit much. I can say she's the only person that's giving us something. Meaning, she's the only person really coming at Dr. Heavenly. She's the only person that's really giving Jackie some sort of, accountability. Not just letting her slide with it. She's the only one that's really giving us TV. I gotta give her props when it's due. Everybody else trying to be buddy, trying to get Quad out like this a Hallmark show. That's why the season was so dry. Y'all was so focused on getting Quad out that y'all was just messing up. Now, when it comes to Sweet Tea and Heavenly, it gets serious. Now, I'm not going to repeat the things that they said towards each other because I can't even say that on TikTok. But all I'm going to say is, Sweet Tea, don't throw stuff out and then get the crown when somebody says something back to you. And when Sweet Tea say, why were you speaking on my marriage and you was trying to compare it to, honestly, that's what you did on TV in 4K. You said, I can see what Quad was talking about. He's a little controlling. Excuse me, that came out of your mouth. That's why she said go to Quad University, because she's doing very well, making good investments, which is why she can still stay in a neighborhood without a husband. Now, when it comes to Dr. Heavenly talking about her endometriosis, in Dr. Heavenly's defense, the way you talked about her mother, there's nothing else you can say. Like, there's no limit after that. Now, I will say I feel like both of them went entirely too low. But when it comes to Dr. Heavenly, she has every right to rebuttal and give her opinion on how she would have handled that situation. Dr. Heavenly was getting so mad. She said, B, I said it 3 times. Now, Andy asked Alicia, how was her time on Married to Medicine? This woman said it felt like the psych ward. I can't even get it out. She said it's just random outbursts, loudness. It was too much. Girl, have you watched the show? You thought it was gonna be a smooth ride, but honestly it was, because you was on mute the whole season. So I mean, now let's get to Napa Valley, because we not finna just go across what they said about Quad and her being darkness. The same Quad that y'all want to come around. The same Quad that y'all mad she not around. The same Quad y'all mad she not calling, but y'all said she's darkness when she come around. Make it make sense. To me, this season showed less of why they feel they way about Quad, but why Quad feels her way about them. Now, when it comes to Kima and his views, I like that Dr. Damon stepped in and said, if you are a leader and you're really the king and the man of your house, you don't have to say it. You really just be it. And that's honestly how I feel. I feel like if you trying to say it so much, you trying to overcompensate for something that you're probably not doing that aligns with being with what you're saying, but we gonna let him have that. Now, I don't know if y'all been watching Dr. Heavenly and Carlos, but if y'all haven't, y'all need to go back, because they tell us all the tea. I'm talking about things that happen behind the scene, what they call breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, we get that. So on her show, she talk a whole lot of mess, right? And she did say that Toya was lazy. She don't even give up to take her kids to school. She need an alarm clock to take her kids to school, but she'll get up to play tennis. Then she said she don't make a lot of money. But he pretty much let the record straight, like, no, she's making more money than me right now, and she has been supporting our family for 6 years because of the show. And she's been on the show for 10 years, so I'm pretty sure she's in the millions by now. She said, okay, you right. I was joking on that. And he's like, but what about the other two? No, I was serious. So you feel like Toya lazy? Absolutely. What is wrong with her? Simone and her apartment, take it out. They talked about it for 6, 7, 8, 9 episodes. I don't care about it. And I found it interesting that she said, I raise the boys how I raise them, and he raised them how he raised them. So I guess because they're adults, they just do it different now? Or is that how they always raise their kids? I don't know, because we're not getting into relationships other than Quad and Sweet Tea. Now, after Sweet Tea made that bogus comment about Dr. Heavenly mother, Dr. Heavenly said her sister called her. So now they're talking more often. So she thanks Sweet Tea for that relationship while Sweet Tea was trying to apologize, but she wasn't trying to hit an apology. And girl, please, you went too far. The way Greg embarrassed Sweet Tea this season, this reunion, he said nothing happened between him and Phaedra in real life, which means it was a fantasy while his wife is watching the TV in the same building. I see why Sweet Tea didn't like the outcome of this reunion, because it's probably worse. And I'm mad Andy ain't pressed Curtis on these homes in the DR. Even Dr. Heavenly, who we all know do not hold Jackie accountable, gonna make every excuse for Jackie. She even asks about them homes. Like, we all need to take a group trip to see them homes in the DR. Because why are you in the DR? And none of them seen them. They said they seen the pamphlets and the outline and the things he said he was going to do, but none of them actually seen the homes in the DR. Now, one thing Kima said struck me, right? He said, if your woman don't submit to you, you would look like you crazy and the men will clown you. So your validation is more so towards your friends and the people around you than how your wife feel about you. That's why I don't respect that ideology of boasting and constantly gotta say it, because you're doing it for your friends. That's what this all about. That's so weak to me. And Apollo stepped on scene, which he had to, because Phaedra was about to get off the show if she didn't have a man present, because allegedly she went on a date. Dr. Heavenly did show on her and Carlos King YouTube the picture off for them on a date, but they didn't show it. Producers do better. And Apollo, as we know, is good for TV. If you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, he gonna let you know all the tea. That wraps up part 2, y'all. Part 3 coming next week. Stay tuned. And make sure y'all follow my YouTube, Dark Skin Queen 2.0, where I post 3 to 4 videos a day. Go live on Friday. And has a podcast out, about black men mental health. Go watch it, episode 1.